book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Excuse me. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14. And 13. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, the grave, to the sides of the pit. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem Havashah, Muhammad honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that's seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some looking like the heathen, beginning with 144,000. Preacher, teacher, and prophet, Shalom.
I never follow the usual path. Like nature, they shift.
Where they nope.
Got this video right here by Brad, my man Brad, Full Spectrum Survival. The title of the video here is Breaking Now. Breaking Now. Cops are being told to protect these sinners with their life. He posted this 5 hours ago. Esau Edom, so-called white man, beginning with the elites, are moving forward with the agenda with prophecy. Okay, the surveillance system. Alright? This digital system, track and trace, they want to be omnipresent, all present. Alright? Excuse me. That's the point of these flock cameras. That's the point of these AI data centers. And now they got cops controlling these areas to protect them, because it's the infrastructure for this digital system, man. So Esau is on the move, and these centers and flock cameras are needed so they can surveil, okay, the citizens. All right. Hey, that's the importance of the mark of the beast, the MOTB. Eventually, they're going to make everyone take. But those who want to be a part of this system, they're going to make them take. You know, as you read in Revelation 13:16 on down, it says that you not be able to buy or sell, save, meaning except you have the mark of the beast. In other words, you won't be able to function within society unless you have it. But Esau is going to push it as if it's only for you to pay your bills, buy and sell, you know. But it's a track and trace system. It's for them to also surveil you. We done been into it, you know, reading your biometrics, knowing your locations. All right. So the whole system is set up and is being set up. All right. So when everything, all hell break loose, right, and you within the area of the chaos, or you are involved in the chaos, they don't have to go, or they're not going to have to go to your social media platforms or use your cell phone to track your location. No, you're gonna have the mark of the beast in you, man. All right, eventually. All right. So everything is about convenience for them, not for you, for them. All right, because they know that all hell is gonna break loose, and they're gonna need to know who was who. All right, and this is the solution, man. You know, this is always a solution to Esau's problem. You know, some type of executive order, laws being put in place, you know, for them to justify their actions, man. And yeah, this 2nd Ezra chapter 15, because it's going to happen. All hell is going to break loose. All right. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword of destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of the pride the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the definition of knob, because he's going to make mention of the term knob. I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up. It says, I typed in, what are knobs dealing with technology? In programming and data analysts, knobs, short for number of observations, is a function or data set option used to count the total number of rows, data points, or records in a data set or statistical model. Functional usage, data counting. It returns an integer, if I said it right, representing how many samples or entries exist in a vector data frame or regression output. Missing data in packages like R, such as GData, specialized knobs functions specifically calculate the number of non-missing valid observations by ignoring innate values. Programming syntax and language like SAS, the knobs option in a set statement assigns the total row count of an incoming data table to a temporary variable, so you can use it in logic or loops. So if you understand that, only thing I understand from is the number counting, man. Is a function or data set option used to count the total number of rows, data points, or records in a data set or statistical model. Alright. I'm not an IT guy, I don't really understand it, technical talk. But that's the only thing I understood from it was the definition. This is breaking. Cops are being told to protect these data centers with their life. And I'm going to just play it, man. This is where we are. This is where we'll continue to head. Prophecy got to play out. So, hey, all hell is going to break loose. The system is already being set up with these cameras, flock cameras, and data centers. You can already see where it's headed. And you see people are not with it. They're tearing down flock cameras, destroying them. Hey, it's coming out to officers, tracking their exits and seeing where the locations are. They're stalking people. So they're just letting you know what this whole system is about and what Esau is going to use it for. You see? You got your goods in your bags, is what they're going to tell you. But overall, they're going to tell you it's for your good, but it's going to lead to your destruction, man. Bye-bye privacy. Alright? They're going to know your every movement soon, once they tell you to take that mark of the beast. I'm going to just play the video and that's going to be it, man. Stay critical and how about Shy? Shalom. And you can't stop this, man. You can't protest. You can't write no petition and get people to sign it or none of that, man. So, all praise to how about Shy.
I've got to be real with you guys. I just got off the phone. I spent probably 3 hours on the phone with a local law enforcement official, and he runs one of the, I guess you would call them special operations units inside of law enforcement in the nearest big city that I have. And what he told me is pretty despairing. He said that all of his fellow officers understand the direction that we are going. They were talking about the camera systems that are being set up and the fact that they've basically been given a directive to protect the infrastructure and the information centers that they're building all across the country in rural cities, big cities, little cities alike, to protect them as though they were military installations. Now, they pretty much are building their SWAT teams as quick reaction forces to be able to go to these sites. And as far as continuity of government goes, it looks like these sites are going to be pivotal to something that we're barely even beginning to understand. And that's that these information centers are going to be hubs that are connected as nodes all across the United States of America, possibly with this information being either overseen or looked at least given access to by foreign governments. But they're going to be protected like national security sites across our country. Now, they're telling me that these are going to be first-line centers. So just like you keep a hospital up and running if there's social unrest or riots and protests, they have reaction forces that are being set up just to go to these locations. From the information that he has and that he was able to give me, there's a hierarchy of the nodes that are more necessary than others. And they only need about 10% of the nodes that they are building, these centers for data that they are building, to operate connected to each other to be able to achieve their goal. The other 90% that they're building.
Kayak smart filters help me find the perfect hotel room.
What if you could have your own personal sous chef? That
90% that they're building, well, that's another question. What are they going to do with that 90% if they only really need 10% to be able to run all of the facial recognition, pattern recognition, where you're going, who you're sleeping with, everything that they need to know about you? The other 90% is pretty much icing on the cake, but all they're after is the cake in the first place. Why? Why do we have law enforcement that are being prepared right now to treat these centers as important as they treat hospitals? You see, the hospitals, they keep running for themselves, of course, and their family, but also for me and for you. Because when social unrest is happening, the country collapses, whatever you want to look at, that's a possibility and a real possibility. When those things happen and you get hurt, or grandpa has a heart condition, or grandma gets a gallstone or a kidney stone or whatever, she has to go to a hospital. So those hospitals are there for you. But these centers are not for you. So why are they treating these centers just as importantly as they do communications, electricity, water, and hospitals? Now, that's not even the despairing part. The real despair came from what he told me him and his friends are planning to do. They have a plan because they're not okay with what's happening. Now, a lot of law enforcement, you've seen it get kicked up all over the news, that they're using these camera systems for petty little things. They're watching to see which direction their girlfriend went, to see if she really said that, she was going to the gym, but she ended up going to Jim's house instead. Those are distractions that are purposely being provided to you in the news outlet, in the media. And it's meant to keep you either divided because a certain amount of our country looks at what is happening and they're eating the bull crap all day long and they're so happy about it. These are the type of people who like paying their taxes and they like getting a ticket. They tell the officer thank you after he gives you a ticket. These type of people are so happy about these centers popping up, and please, could you just shackle me, not here and here, but could we also just throw, for giggles, a little ball gag into it? Also, could we maybe blindfold me as well? There's a certain large demographic of our population that has these ideas, that that's how we should operate, that we need authoritarian or totalitarian, communist level, KGB level control. But then there's another side that understands where we are going. and what this is actually going to look like. Because in our country, we're building 3,000 plus data centers. And in China, they run their entire communist country where they know what everybody is doing. And if you're not a good person, according to what the government sets out as a standard of being a good citizen, you can't go into a grocery store. We've seen the videos. You walk into the grocery store. Do you know at Walmart? You remember when Walmart was putting up those gates? And they were like alarm gates, and if you went inside of the exit area, the little alarm would go off, and you had that guy welcome to Walmart that would usher security over, make sure that you weren't doing anything wrong. That's not what those are for. The very same gates, maybe without any smiley faces on them of a Walmart smile, the very same gates exist in China. And there's a person that is standing right next to them with a keypad. And they have their keypad and they're looking at it, and it tells them whether you're allowed to shop at the grocery store or not. Because the government says whether you're allowed to shop at that grocery store or not. In the same way it goes with the Uber. You might call in Uber, but if you're not a good citizen according to someone else, you're not allowed to use it. And they ostracize, through an oligarch-like control mechanism, everybody who doesn't play along. This is why I'm concerned. There are members of our law enforcement, and I'm sure there's members that exist inside of our military and a couple of other different divisions inside of our nation, federal divisions, that are not okay with this. But they're not enough. And they know that they don't have enough people. And they know even if they did have enough people, the government doesn't care. We've seen the community rally. We have seen all of the city council meetings. When they know you don't want it, they don't care. It doesn't matter. You might pay your taxes and you might vote, but that's all a show. That's just a game. That's a game to make you believe you're not a slave. And they put it behind closed doors. They sign non-disclosure agreements. They push this down your throat anyways. And so the cops that know what direction we're really going, and I say really because we're right about there, they know what direction we're really going, and they have their own plan. And their plan is probably not, at least this law enforcement official and his small group, and he said he's talking to multiple groups all across the country. Their plan is probably very similar to your plan and mine, and that is to be two-faced. And that's where we get into a little bit of concern, because if a cop is going to be two-faced, and on one face he's going to uphold his official duties in law enforcement, but on the other face he has a plan that is completely opposite to that for himself, for his family, for his group of like-minded individuals inside of law enforcement authority.
You can tell a lot about a person by their community. Congressman Don Davis was raised in eastern North Carolina, a minister, educator, and
authority. Well, we've got trouble coming. And if I match that up to my FFL dealer, which is a firearms license dealer locally, and what he says about what he's seeing, that people are buying massive amounts. They're buying ammunition. Some people can only afford to buy enough to hunt with. They're buying and getting ready for something. Because I feel like it's about to break. And I don't know if that means we're going to see an uprising of any kind, because we don't have the testes that we had back in the day. Back in the day, they went to war over taxes. If somebody was wrongfully having their land taken away from them, the entire community got together and told the bank no. And they had a voice. But in our world, 2026 today, the United States of America, the only thing that is united is the corruption. And the states are all gaming against you. And so I'm concerned that if we have groups of division inside of multiple parts of federal law, federal government, what's tomorrow going to look like? And I think that if the cops know that this is bad, then you and I should really know this is way worse than we could ever imagine. And so their plan is to be two-faced. And I think that your plan and maybe my plan needs to be two-faced too, right? On this one, I'm a go Buccaneers, Dallas, Cowgirls, whatever it might be, I'm a great citizen. On this one, I understand what's really going on, what's happening, and I'm making sure that me and my family have our preparation in mind. Because I do not want to have to make a rash decision to go somewhere I don't want to go. And having myself set up is probably the top of my priority list, and my family set up, my kids, and my group. Please get with your group. I'm telling you, lone wolf in it is okay. There's a lot of people in our community that the life that they have, it really doesn't allow for much more. But that means they have to adopt some other mechanisms of survival. Massive amounts of surveillance because you've got to sleep sometime. Dogs, track pattern recognition, being able to lay out sand traps. You've got to do these things. So be two-faced, but be moral. We've lost that in our country. I'm not saying to do anything wrong or bad. Just know that there's a face that digital ID and government is going to expect of you, and there's a face that you know exactly what we're looking at, and you're getting ready. If you have any ideas about what might be coming, please let our community know down in the comment box. From my family to yours, please stay safe and keep watch.
Love,